Tell me somebody that you think is cool.
Right now, Elias is pretty cool. I think Roman's I think Roman's pretty cool. I mean, there's people like look, he looks cool. Right?
I bet you wait one second. I just want to say one thing. I bet you if Conrad and Matt were star cast, whatever, and you had a table for Elias and you had a table for the Young Bucks, we'll see who has the longer line.
Probably okay, but here's my thing. This is why I think the Bucks did next level thinking, and to me it's so simplistic. And I'm gonna point is that everybody's like Cornette rips on him and stuff like that, and I tell Vince all the time, I'm like, guys,
Cornette doesn't get them, bro.
I go, but my take here might be different than what you guys think I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
This is what I see the Bucks. The Bucks played to the dirt sheet. They played to Meltzer. They've named a move after. So what happened? Bro, the wrestling media, all they do is put you over. They're the tag team of the year. There's something. Bro, they use the culture of professional wrestling with like the dirt sheets, everything and all that, played into that audience, which wrestlers have not really done before. Played into Meltzer to the point that Tony Khan, who is probably a Dave Meltzer fan, a Wrestling Mark fan, bro, they parlayed that into getting the executive vice presidentship for a new company on TV on TNT. And it's not because they're 185-pound kids that go out there and have good matches. They played into the people that you need to make them perceive that you're better than everybody else. And it works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, it works. I watch the Young Bucks, they're excellent. They're far better athletes than you would think. You look at this like, holy shit. It's like when all these other wrestlers do all their spots and they're flying around and everything, but like, and Matt Jackson's like the Pac-Man game, boom, 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 he's jumping all the, I'm like, wow, not a lot of guys can do that. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of guys that do that these days. Like a lot of guys are jumping all they're undersized and stuff. But the fact that they've got the wrestling media backing them. Okay, bro, I mean, it's genius. I would have never thought of that. I'm just gonna put these guys over, name moves after, because actually, bro, it's worked. I mean, if you think about it, that's the way I look at them, and I'm like, I applaud them. I'm like, congratulations, guys. I wish I was as good a worker as that, because you guys in the year 2019 you figured out 5 years ago. You figured this out, and now de facto you're two of the top guys in the business, and you're 180-pound kids from the South that look like us, that look like just a couple little kids you'll see in the mall and stuff, and you're two of the biggest stars in wrestling. And that's the way I look at it,
That's definitely a factor. Like, they did that with the dirt sheets. They definitely did that with Meltzer. But to Conan's point, and to your point as well, like, this is a tag team that if you put them in TNA in 2003, which I guess they were at some point, they wouldn't look any different from anybody else. There's nothing to really why these guys are special. They knew how to market that shit. They knew how to promote the shit. They turned down an NXT deal when they were nobody because they believed in themselves. It has nothing to do with, I mean, as good as they are in the ring, I'm more of a Ray Phoenix guy personally than a Young Bucks guy when I watch them in the ring, but it's got nothing to do with in the ring. It's what they do outside the ring. And it's not just the dirt sheets. It's what they've done with being the elite. It's this kind of subculture that they've grown. It's small, I give you that, but I see the potential of it growing with other people that age, because they are, as much as you think they're workers, they come across as very genuine. They come across as being like the fans, and they come across.
I don't think that's a more. I'll say this though.
Yes. Let me tell you, bro. Crazy Teddy Hart, had a fucking show in Canada. This was maybe like about 6 years ago. And I think this is like right when they started to go to New Japan or something like that. And I remember that they had their little merchandise table there, and they were like literally talking to everybody, making them feel special. It wasn't like, okay, sign, don't even look up, next. Like hey, what's up? How you doing? And people like that, bro. People don't want to feel like, okay, I just gave this guy 20. Wait, let me finish, but knucklehead. People don't want to feel like, hey, I just gave this guy $20 fucking dollars and he gave me 5 seconds of his fucking time. The Young Bucks, and people will put on, social media, hey, I met the Young Bucks, they were cool. Look, I took a picture with them, and people started promoting them themselves because they were such cool guys. You know what I'm saying? Well, and then when you met them in person, that's actually how they are.
Well, plus too, the way they work, that they're not like your typical indie workers. They do the stuff between the moves that you need to do to get over. They do a lot of showmanship out there, and a lot of guys, but there's a lot of guys just as good as them, but they don't have any clue the showmanship, the timing of the show. They just don't know how to do it like they do. And those guys are
but he said, but those guys didn't do the elite. They didn't go to New Japan and get over. They didn't do all those things that these guys have done. It isn't just
But you watch Shawn Michaels, the way he wrestles. Those guys are Shawn Michaels marks, and they wrestle like Shawn Michaels. They do the that's the way they wrestle. And Shawn Michaels is very charismatic in his matches. It's like very similar style. It's like they're almost like the same guy.
But also to your point, it's almost irrelevant what they do in the ring. Like when I look back as a kid, I didn't really care about how good the matches were. I cared about who won and lost. I think that's changed a little bit, not as much as Meltzer would have you think, but it's what happens outside of the ring. It's how they feel as like they're part of something. Like Conan was saying, when I saw these fans approach Cody's walking through Starcast Hotel at All In, and all I hear is people yelling, "Thank you." That's all I hear is people yelling, "Thank you, Cody." And then when they get autographs from the Young Bucks or Cody, those three in particular, it's not like these were fans that idolized them. They loved them. Like, I love the Young Bucks. I love Cody Rhodes. That's what I saw. And I saw it as a different audience of people that don't watch WWE, people that, it's a different thing. And they haven't got it yet because it's still a small audience, but we saw the indicator where they drew gross more young people than Raw did last week, and that indicator, I think, is going to keep growing because people are going to tell their friends. They're going to say, "Man, there's these guys. There's this guy, Darby Allin, who uses a skateboard. He's a legit skateboard guy." Like, these are genuine to the fans. The genuineness is important.
I think everybody knows. Bro, all the fans these days know about all these shows. I just think it's whether or not they have the time to watch them all. Wrestling fans today know. Like, if you follow wrestling, it's like you pretty much know all these companies. I don't think there's a lot of wrestling fans out there that don't, because I don't really see any that don't. Have never, people that don't watch wrestling don't know what AEW is yet. People that do, they know what it is. Everybody knows what it is, And as I'm saying, I don't know. It's just like, how does this fan base grow?
Yeah, you got to give him credit. They were the second most watched show on cable. Only thing that beat him was the baseball playoffs. That's good. They weren't number 50 or number 30. They were number 2. Now we'll find out. Now we'll find out. Wait 1 second. We'll find out if this is something that's going to grow or it was just a one-night thing or what it is. But they just started, bro. They just had one show. How do you know how they're going to do in the future? Even I don't.
No. Well, I don't. I said I'm going to give it 8 weeks to see trends and stuff and everything on like ratings trends, but based on the numbers the first week, you got to pat me on the back. Who's been saying all along they should be going head to head? To me, that will make that to me is what wrestling needs. Okay, because I'm just going by history. Okay, wrestling fans, when the wrestling war started. Back in 1995, when Nitro went head-to-head in the fall of 95. The combined audience, on those two shows, when the show started, was like 4 million people. It wasn't a lot. That grew to almost 200%, because Monday night was a time when, like, hey, everybody's everybody's talking about wrestling on Monday night. Like you said, it's word of mouth. Hey, you got to watch this stuff and all that, That's why, the NXT versus thing to me is like, because I still think a lot of people look at NXT as a minor league compared to WWE, but that's why I think they should be going on Monday night, because wrestling needs this to get people outside it to start engaging again. Because regardless of what people say, I don't care what anybody says, Monday night is the night for wrestling and has been for 25 years. That's just the way it is. Like most of your fans know, but no, Monday night we watch wrestling, right? And so by them going on Wednesday night, and this is the only thing I find, problematic, is that what you did is instead of going on a night where everybody's watching, we can draw their audience, the wrestling fans watch at the same time, you're giving wrestling fans 2 new hours to consume. And it's like, God almighty, they watch a lot. This is what I'm thinking for a fan. It's like, if you're a fan, you're sitting there saying, Jesus, I'm tapped out on wrestling. It's like, that was a new show I got to watch. Like, it's like almost exhausting wrestling to ask fans to invest in 2 more new hours. That's why I think for wrestling and for the wrestling audience, for the wrestling product to grow, they need to be on Monday night. Because like you're just asking wrestling fans to consume too much product right now, too many hours, and you're asking people that aren't watching. So if you can get wrestling fans that aren't watching and maybe used to watch to engage again on Monday night, that's what the wrestling business I think needs that to grow, and I think that's the way to do it.